was given to mankind that he kept, I should say. It's half of the truth, at least. One God. We only need one God. You need a technique. You only need one technique. You don't need 1,000. I mean, all these little things. But it's all about how we respect other people in our relationship, in our lives, and what we do to other people. But if you go into Moses' laws, which are not the Ten Commandments, what things you can eat, what things you can't eat, looking at somebody naked, what has to happen if somebody does this. I mean, all those things about cutting your hands off, cutting your eyes out, and all those things was like physical reality. Had nothing to do with spiritual. You don't become spiritual by doing physical things, and that's something people don't realize. Well, I help people. Help them what? Get houses? Well, good for you. That's a great thing. But does that mean you're spiritual? You join Blue Cross, Red Cross, Purple Cross, whatever. You join a group that says they help people. Salvation Army. So you're a good person? Yes. Well, I help people. Help people what? Try to live? How about try to die? Jesus talked about death more than he did about life, and people don't repeat that or even talk about that ever. For many reasons. Because they're still afraid of death and that there's nothing there when they get there. So the illusion that life has to be beautiful, has to be good, has to be fun. So good. I'm in pain all the time now. And I realized, I said, well, finish out my time. I'm going to try to get my hand fixed and see. But, I mean, I don't know what it's going to cost. I got 3 major problems with my arms, my hands. My partner is in pain. So living with pain is a part of karma. Understanding it. And, I mean, learning how to deal with it. Try to heal it. Try to fix it. I mean, I challenged God 3 times in my life. And I wasn't going to talk about it. I think I did in one of my books. But I challenged God. I said, either you heal me or I'm out of here. I can't be anything if I'm not. I can't do anything if I'm not. So I was actually going to have my stomach cut out 2 days before it. I went through all these pains after I challenged God that night. The next morning, they said, well, you got to go for the x-ray so we can see how we're going to operate on you. I had peptic duodenal ulcers. And when I took the x-rays, he said, I don't understand this. We can't find a thing wrong with your stomach right now. That was after I already was thinking about going to the mob because I didn't have money. They were going to give me $25,000. I said I had to give them 3 times that back in 3 months. I said I can't afford it, and that's why I'm borrowing the money. So to borrow money that I can't afford to pay back would be like, let's just shoot myself now. So that's when I went to God and said, look, God, I can't do this. I got no excuses. I got no way out of here. Either this. That was only one time. I did it 2 other times. They all worked out for me. I'm not telling you to go out and challenge God because it might not be listening to you. What do you do for God? To get it to listen to what you're even saying. Who are you? What are you really in God's world? What do you know about it or any of that? God grants the souls what it deserves. Always. The old story, what father wouldn't give their son what they deserve? Or not what they ask for. They'll ask for everything under the sun. I mean, somebody I know personally is selling out himself to give money to somebody else to buy a house. Is it a good thing? Well, I challenged him on karma, and he says, oh, I got a lot of karma I have to pay, and I know it. So guilt is a lot of reasons why people do things. It's not getting rid of the karma. It's just the guilt behind it. Are you responsible for your actions? Are you willing to take that step and walk into the space where you need to be responsible for everything you say? When you tell people, no matter who you are, you tell people everything's okay, where's that coming from? Your stupid ego? Your ignorant ego? To say that? To say aliens going to help us? Help us what? I always put the what afterward when people say help us. North Korea dropped a nuclear bomb inside the ocean not too long ago. Does anybody care even know? And now that if you know, now what are you going to do? Nothing? Well, what can we do? Well, we can do nothing and die. That's all. And then karma come back to whatever the planet is like when you come back to it next time. And obviously, I think if you come back in the next lifetime, it's not going to be good at all. Because if you live, well, if you're about 60 right now, even if you live another 25 years and you die, the world's going to be so different. If we don't destroy the planet, it'll be extremely toxic. Everything. And at that point, most people will be robots or living inside a bubble because they can't go out and breathe the air, drink the water, any of those things. Or in a company fixing a robot because they don't want people to do anything. Hold on, let me bring this person in. Hello?
Oh, Tom, it's Hugh. How are you?
Oh, great. How are you?
Doing terrific. Staying on my path.
Well, that's all that matters. We each have to follow our path, and that's what life's about. Learning if it's helping us grow or not.
Yeah, I have a friend that has a website that has a lot of documents and things. If you just Google 3 words, it will, that page, it'll bring it to be pretty interesting. My last name, Traulsen, Traulsen, then put the word and then Trump, Trump, because I actually share common background with him. I'm not into the ego like he is, but you'll see some interesting text and documents on that page and then be able to go over the whole site. How are you doing in Hawaii? Are you feeling any effects from all the volcanic activity?
I do feel the effects. It affects a lot of things. The fumes from it, the poisonous gases. I mean, they're still spraying chemtrails over us in between all that as well.
Really? Wow.
So they're persistent. The earthquake, well, the volcano exploding yesterday was humongous. I was in town and I saw the clouds coming out of it and what it did and everything.
So you're on the main island then?
Yeah, I'm only 9 to 10 miles from it.
Wow.
So at nighttime, when I look out the back of my house, all I see is a bright red sky. I can't even see the sky. It just looks like the whole sky's on fire.
Yeah, I see people walking up pretty close to the lava. I wouldn't do that, but
well,
I guess.
Realize, and it's a sad thing, people come to Hawaii to get near the volcano, to see it, to get a picture of it.
Right, yeah.
All right, so in their own little way, just to show you how bad it is in a lot of different ways, is the helicopter company was charging $200 for a half hour to go up and fly around, right?
Wow.
But since the volcano started, they said they're giving people discounts. It's now $500.
Oh, that's a good discount.
Right. It's a discount on your life. But
yeah.
Sadly,
we'll give you a bigger thrill. We'll
yeah, they can make their millions of dollars and then retire.
Yeah.
On the people that are stupid enough to pay that kind of money to do it. But people that come here on a tourist thing usually don't worry about money, about bills until they go back home. And they want to see it. And they want to see it from close up. They had the boats going near it originally, the other volcano going off. And they were getting too close, and they had to pass a thing about how close a boat can go to the lava. Because they were worried about a boat getting hit by the lava.
Sure. So,
but this helicopter, there's certain limits of where they can go, because a helicopter gets caught up in a volcano, it could just crash. Those fumes do affect the engine.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I remember when they had problems over, was it somewhere over in Europe, they couldn't fly planes for many days.
Well, it clogs the engine and does a lot of things. So, yeah, they don't do it directly over it, but they go close enough around it and things like that where people get their thrills. But,
yeah, I guess the drones are different. The drones seem to be able to fly right over it.
Yeah, they put the drone over the volcano itself. Now, here's the thing. I'm sorry, people. I'll get back to the topic in a second. But when they flew the drone over the center of the volcano, you can see down it, and it's getting wider and wider. Every explosion we have, which was like today, the floor of the volcano drops about 40 feet.
Wow.
Every time. 40 feet each time. And then the walls around the circle drop down and cave in. So it's building and going deeper and deeper into the core of the earth daily. Because if you look at the earthquake chart, they don't always call it an earthquake. They just show a triangle and say earthquake, explosion. So we had one this morning, 5.4. And it's every morning we have one, usually about a 5. So that means every day it's dropping 40 feet. Multiply that by a couple months. Imagine how far down into the earth it's going. And what's really
I'm wondering if
happening
it's like earthquake fault lines, if those lava flows have like fault lines as it expands. Well, you think it'll affect some of the other islands, like Maui or whatever?
Well, here's the thing. See, people don't understand Hawaii at all. There's 6 islands sticking out of the water, right?
Right.
Go underneath them, they all go into one mountain that goes to
There
the
you
core
go.
of the earth.
Right.
Each one is Honolulu felt the earthquake we had.
Huh?
So, it's easy because just picture a tree. When a tree shakes, all those branches are going to shake.
Right.
So, yes, it does affect them, not as much as us, but it does affect them. So, if the earthquake stopped here, it could start on any of the other islands because they all got inactive volcanoes. But we have 2 active here now, so we got serious problems. Now with this whole thing about Fissure 8, which I call fracking 8, it was a fracking point. But the government knew it was in control to the lava fields underneath, inside, and I don't know what they were doing. You don't fracture inside a volcano quake line. They did. And scientists already said that that's the reason why it's starting and why it's doing what it's doing.
Huh.
They're saying it's the hottest lava ever. How does lava get hotter? Well, the only way I would say, the closer to the core of whatever's burning. Whatever's melting the lava in the first place is the core. And the closer you get that, like a stove, the hottest part of the flame is the smallest blue part of the flame compared to the yellow part on the outside of it. So the closer you get to the core, the more it's heating up. Now they realize they built these stupid walls around the telephone poles the other time we had the lava coming down, and they realized the lava would have just burned through everything anyway. They put these giant piles of rocks, put this metal fencing, and put an insulation around that, and they put it around these poles, thinking when the lava goes down, it won't hurt the poles. And now, after they looked at where the lava went, the only thing you see is like you're looking on the moon. That's all you see. You don't see anything. It is completely destroyed for 12 miles now. The lava is basically 2 miles wide. And it's just pouring out into the ocean, creating a mountain under the ocean. I don't want to get into all that because there's a lot of whistleblowers, conspiracy theories on that. There's scientists talking about it. None of them really know what's going to happen except maybe the government. And they're sure not going to tell us.
Right.
They're not going to say, we did this, we need to do this, we need to destroy Hawaii, we need to create an island to break off, we need all these different things. But I look at all these other countries like China, they build these islands. Do people understand that countries build islands and they put armies on them? And that's all that's going on these islands that they're building?
Yeah.
And we built them too. And I only found out, they actually showed them on the internet a week ago. They showed all our bases and our islands we created. It's amazing what they're doing and why they're doing it, but it's nothing good, I can guarantee that. Nothing man does is ever good.
Right.
The actions in the land, the people, and what's happening makes it clear as day. So we need to I don't know. I don't know